And right now the ratings are really good. Everyone's watching the show. You have this court society with an American TV version of European Castle, filtered through Vegas, right? It's kind of like a casino meets Hill Castle.
Downton Abbey meets,
in
meets
Italy.
Caesars.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Right. And there are all these big personalities there besides King Donald, or would-be King Donald. And they're jockeying for airtime, and some of them own the air that they can not just jockey for, but command that they're the center of attention. And so it's a show. And now there's going to be government. There's going to be a Congress with razor-thin majorities on the Republican side. There's going to be complex issues like budgets, which they haven't been able to do since you and I had black hair.
Right.
There's going to be world events that impinge on them that they don't control, and you remember well from the White House what that feels like, the best laid plans, as it were. That's all coming, and that's coming very soon. So now we're in the TV show phase of this, where we have news cycles, and we have ratings, and we have this court of Mar-a-Lago. You can't be a king in the American system because it was designed precisely, as you know better than anybody, to prevent that eventuality. So there's all sorts of ways that the executive branch is tied up in knots trying to get things done. Mm-hmm. So they can gain people's attention. And certainly Donald Trump has done that. He has people's attention, but now he's got to govern, he's got to deliver, and these are intractable problems, domestically and internationally. Let's remember that President Obama wanted nothing to do with Ukraine. It was so low down his list of priorities after Putin seized Crimea that Obama gave the Ukraine portfolio to the vice president, Joe Biden. Funerals and Ukraine.
And Ukraine.
Those were Biden's portfolios. Biden wanted to wash his hands of Ukraine. He had bigger fish to fry. It interceded on his presidency. Putin interceded on by Obama's White House. So now we have President Trump, and he's not very invested in Ukraine. He'd like it to go away. He'd like to pull that proverbial chain that we all remember on the toilets growing up. Now there's a handle, but back in the day it was a chain, and you pulled it and whoosh, sound, and things went away. So Trump has that view, and it's the same view that Obama had vis-a-vis Ukraine, ironically. He'd like it to go away. But here's his problem. Joe Biden fled in the middle of the night from Afghanistan, and his presidency never recovered.
It never did recover.
His ratings tanked immediately after the withdrawal from Afghanistan and stayed down. Maybe that wasn't the only cause. There were probably many causes to that, but sure looks more than coincidental. Americans hate war, but if you're in a war, they hate losing even more. Mm-hmm. And so Donald Trump risks becoming the Joe Biden of Ukraine, having his own Afghanistan, where Trump began to withdraw from Afghanistan before Biden came in. Biden inherited the problem, made it worse, and took the blame, and Trump got none of the blame, even though he was also responsible. And now Putin has a chance to humiliate America in Ukraine. On Biden's watch, he hands it over to Trump, and now Trump, if he leaves in the middle of the night, the way Biden did of Afghanistan, what does that do to his presidency?